What could be more romantic than Starbucks near the happiest place on earth, you guys?
Pretty
And what could be
romantic.
more toxic than that? The show Toxic Love Story, which we are going to be talking about on this episode. I'm Tiffany.
Hi, Michelle.
And we're joined with the lovely Heather and Sandi. Welcome, everybody, to Just Between Us Unfiltered. And we are just going to jump right in and talk about this show that premiered or is on Netflix called A Toxic Love Story. So I'm going to ask all of you, and there's going to be spoilers on this episode. I'm going to ask all of you, have you heard about this story before? This love?
I haven't.
Michelle, had you?
I think I saw it on another series, and I saw bits and pieces, but I totally didn't see the whole story. And this was a really interesting story.
So I knew this story up until the 40-minute mark when Michelle, her name was Michelle, right? When Michelle starts talking. I'm going to check my notes just to when Michelle starts talking, I knew everything up until that point. So let's start with a synopsis of what happened. There was a woman named Michelle, and she was dating a man named Ian from 2013 to roughly 2015. And during that time, he convinced her to buy a condo in Anaheim, California, near Disneyland. He loved Disney. Their agreement was, and these are the words from her mouth, she would put down the down payment and then he would help with the mortgage. No.
Red flag right there.
Remember when a couple of episodes ago, Heather, you were there too, and I told you there's a name for that?
Oh, yeah. It's a new thing.
It's a hobosexual. That guy's a hobosexual.
That's right. What is this? Drain your savings, and then I'm going to help you with part of the rent. What? How about you pony up half the deposit, sir? How about that?
And then it gets worse because this entire train wreck is because he's trying to hold on to that property.
Oh, of course he is.
Okay, so they end up breaking up. And he meets this other woman, Angela.
And she's a peach.
Heather, what did you think about Angela?
Angela is a something. Is a something.
Of all the things Angela did, Heather, which do you think is the most shocking? Because we heard a lot about Angela from her relationship with Ian and from her previous.
Oh, it was all the previous. The faking cancer. No bueno. Nope.
Yeah.
There's got to be some mental thing that people do to fake an illness. Like, do you need a test?
Munchausen's disease.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. So you'll pretend to be sick or even physically make yourself sick because you want attention. There's also Munchausen's by proxy, and that's where you make like a child sick. So
like Gypsy Rose. Right?
Blanchard? Yeah. Oh, yeah. She was obviously the victim in that situation the whole time.
Oh, no, but I'm just saying the mom made her sick. This Angela chick just wants.
I think Angela for sure suffered from a form of Munchausen's. She had to have. I mean, that's an insane thing to do.
Sandi, what did you think was the worst thing that Angela did in this death?
Of course, the faking cancer. There's no question about it. It's the faking cancer. Then just a real close second was everything she did with Ian.
Okay, Michelle, which one do you think? Because I think she did something else that was worse than that. But Michelle, what do you think?
Yeah, well, faking cancer, that's like, and then I had questions about the pregnancy,
Right.
the fake pregnancy thing, because it seemed like he was shocked about it. But it's like hilarious that this guy would pick this woman, right, for his mate. As Heather says, she's a peach. But obviously he needed someone like her to go along with whatever. But um, yeah, that whole thing was just bizarre.
So
The
I think
pregnancy
the
thing.
worst thing she did is very similar to a case that was just resolved in the last couple of months. And
Mhm.
that was faking, luring a guy over there
Mhm.
to play out a violent fantasy,
Mhm.
pretending that Michelle was the one that called the guy over.
Mhm.
And the consequences of that could, like, that guy who answered the Craigslist thing, he could have been assaulted. He could have ended up in jail.
Mhm.
And I don't know, do you guys all remember the case of Brendan Banfield? That with the Brazilian au pair? That's how he got rid of his wife. He worked with his Brazilian au pair. He was having an affair with her. They created this fake account, lured a guy into the house to pretend to play out this fantasy, and he killed them both. This just happened like a couple of months ago. The guilty verdict was found. So, that, I mean, the cancer one is horrible. And I think this one is really horrible too, because the cancer one, it causes people to empathize with her. But this other one, there were real legal repercussions that could have happened to other people.
But it was my understanding. I don't think it was her writing those emails. I think it was Ian.
No, it was him. Yeah, but
It
she
was
was
him.
in on it.
He
I
She was,
created Lilith.
Oh, she was totally in on it.
Yeah. Because he created Lilith.
Right. And then the whole but yeah, you're right, that whole weird thing, that was kind of his downfall, because no man in his right mind who knows that his ex-fiance is out there having all these strange men come to the house, they're not just going to be like, "Oh, okay, I'm going to leave the gate open for you and I'm going to have a conversation." They're going to have their weapons of choice available, and they're not going to be keeping the door open. They're going to call the police. But he was acting like, "Oh, sit down and have a cup of tea. We're going to have a chat."
so
You don't know who's coming over.
for clarity's sake, what happened
Mm-hmm.
is that there were accusations being thrown that Michelle was threatening Angela, the new wife of her ex-boyfriend Ian. They were violent allegations. She was sending, allegedly through email, horrific threats and violent imagery, so much so that it landed Michelle in jail for 88 days.
Melissa.
Melissa?
Her
I
name's
think her name was
Melissa.
Melissa.
No, it's Michelle.
Is it Michelle?
It was Michelle.
Are you
Yeah.
sure?
So it
Oh,
was
I'm
Michelle.
sorry.
It was Michelle. So what happened was we had a couple who were together. They broke up. They had a shared condo who Ian, the ex-boyfriend fiance, was living in. He got into a relationship with Angela literally 4 months after he broke up with Michelle. Michelle left the condo, the one that she put the down payment on, and owned half, kicked her out. She goes to her parents, has a complete mental breakdown because he's a narcissist, moves this other woman in, and within months, she's pregnant with twins. They get married, and then all of a sudden, the new wife, Angela, receives threatening emails that they say is coming from Michelle. So that's kind of the premise of the show. And he also works in law enforcement. And so the interesting thing I found was the guy who was investigating how he got busted was when you are a cop or you work for the police, anytime something happens with you personally, they have an internal investigation about your case just to make sure everything's on the up and up. And that's where they found inconsistencies. And so what happened is when they started doing the threatening emails, the police, they can't do anything. Okay, so your ex-girlfriend sent you some very unpleasant emails, but we can't do anything. So then he added animal cruelty and disgusting photos. They're like, again, we can't do anything. So then they upped it again to where they're like, oh, look, she's on Craigslist soliciting for men to come over here and do this essay fantasy and attack her. And again, I think they were like, we can't do it. So this is the part where I got a little confused. And this is where I think they started to bust them, right? Like things were kind of weird. So Michelle was allegedly trying to set up on Craigslist for these men to come and attack Angela. And I guess they received emails that she was saying this guy is going to show up or whatever. How did they quickly find the ad? And he started talking to the exact person who was on his way over to do those things.
They
And she's
found
like,
it
we'll
on
leave the door open.
Ian gave it to them. That's why
Yeah.
they're like, how did you find the ad?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sandi, what did you think about it? Like, what was your shocking moment?
Mm-hmm.
When Michelle finally told her story, it was all the revelations of Michelle and, you know, her talking about how, you know, how quickly they, you know, fell in love, and yes, the weird way they got the condo.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the relationship was over, because he was controlling her and, you know, he was keeping tabs on her location, and to the point where if she was not in an area that he thought she should be in, he's calling her 30 times, all that. And then she absconds to her parents' house, right? Because she doesn't know where to go. She's scared. You know, he's seemingly everywhere. He's in law enforcement, you know, and he's not just a cop. He's a U.S. Marshal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little different and it's a little scarier. So now she goes to her parents' house. This man stalks her within an inch of her life.
Mm-hmm.
And then seemingly just gives up that option. I guess the stalking wasn't getting him what he wanted. And then he just went out and found himself some Angie.
And like,
But
what are
Michelle-
the chances of that? Michelle and I were talking about these two horrifically toxic people
Found each other.
fighting. It's like a match made in heaven. It sounds like another couple that we all know and talk about.
Mm-hmm.
The sad part is these kinds of people find each other all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They really, really do.
Yeah.
Just they don't always do, you know, this psycho stuff.
Right. And the other thing that was really obvious, again, what the police were saying was that he had a lot of anger toward his ex. Like he just really wanted to stick it to her.
Yeah.
To me, he was a narcissist. He had all the playbooks of a narcissist, the love bombing. They moved really quickly. Everything was perfect. Let's go to Disneyland. I mean, hello, first date on Disneyland, dream date. You know, they move in the condo. Then she's like, everything changed the minute she moved in. He became very possessive, changed her appearance, wanted to know where she was, if she was driving out of the area. Where are you?
Yeah.
Where are you going? Then
Michelle,
he
I
has
wanna-
things where he pushes the borderline in the bedroom, where he starts making her do things
Yeah.
that she doesn't want to do. And this is all classic narcissistic behavior. And then after she broke up with him and finally escaped, the woman had a PTSD episode because she
ends up like in another
You know?
state, right?
yeah, she ended
And
up
like
the next day.
a Native American family just finds her out in a field
Yeah.
or something like that. I mean, like
She broke.
that's
she
like
broke.
stuff in a Hollywood movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That poor woman. That
Yeah.
poor
So-
woman.
Michelle, I wanted to say two things to you. I've mentioned before my ex-husband is a narcissist. My second date was at Disneyland, by the way. So
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the other thing that happened in this documentary that immediately, Michelle, reminded me of you is that the Michelle on the show talks about an incident where she was in the car with him and he starts driving violently. And Michelle, you told me once that HG tutor told you
Mhm.
that is like a hallmark narcissistic behavior, not
Mhm.
caring about people, like driving
Yeah. My
Erratically.
ex-boyfriend did that. My
Wow.
ex-boyfriend used to scare me to the point where I had PTSD driving in cars with people. He would literally purposely run red lights. He would run stop signs. He would donut. He would literally try to get us in an accident because he didn't care. They don't care about your life. Your life is nothing. And it's a sense of control. And when he did that, it was like literally I could point out almost everything that one of my toxic ex had done. And I never knew what it was. I didn't know that was what a narcissist does. I didn't know what a narcissist was, but now when I see it, I'm like, he is a classic narcissist.
Yeah.
And then he did the whole smear campaign after they broke up and he really wanted to stick it to her, right? But here's my question to you guys. Heather, maybe you can answer this. They didn't have a lot of evidence against Michelle. They had this guy who was a cop's word, right? But again, how did they even have proof that the emails were coming from her email or from her IP address? Like, what evidence did they have to lock her up for what, 2-3 months?
Well, that's where
I'm confused.
this whole thing, like it is, you have to watch it like 5 times.
Yeah.
It is a big loop-de-loop and get very, very confusing, right? Then that's where, again, I was confused because I live in Canada, right? So I'm like, I don't know what goes on in the United States, right? So I was just like, but she did admit to sending the first 2 emails, and it had something to do with Lilith, and it had something to do with religion.
It was religious. It didn't say.
Okay, yeah, okay. It was the religious part, and then Ian tagged on them. So that's what this is where I got confused. I'm like, at the trial, wouldn't she be saying, okay, I wrote these 2 emails. I didn't do any of this other stuff, right? Like, absolutely not. So that's where I get, you leave the show asking more questions than you get answers.
Yeah, because they didn't have any evidence. I'm like, so what's your evidence? This guy's saying that you got emails, but are you tracing it to her IP address? Do you have it on her?
Well,
I mean,
to be fair though, she sent those emails to Ian. Those first 2 emails were sent to Ian. Ian then goes and creates Lilith and starts sending emails to Angela.
But what I'm saying is they still don't have those new emails. There's no way to tie them to Michelle. So the police are just taking his word for it based on 2 emails. So you would think that they would do some forensic, like, okay, we need to have an IP address. Because I can come up here and say, Sandi is sending me harassing.
No, because they had a confession. She confessed to sending those. That's all the police need. Right. Either they need the evidence to absolutely, without a doubt, or they need a confession. And because she did confess to sending those first 2 emails, then now they can take that, put it in front of a judge and a jury, and they can just, all they have to do is prove beyond a reasonable doubt that she obviously could have been capable of doing all of it then. They had a confession. That's all they needed.
I think they also didn't purposely tell her everything. So she thought she was confessing to those 2 emails, but she wasn't aware of everything that was happening. And that's why at the end she sued them and she got a huge settlement. Yeah. Because that was negligence. And she was correct that the police took his word more than the evidence, because he was also trying to establish, I'm a bro. I'm one of you.
Well, and that was also part of what they got him on, is like abusing his power and his position. Exactly. But did we all miss the part where when the cops showed up to the house, he's out front, Ian's out front with his weapon out? Wait, you don't need to do that.
Posturing.
Sir.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And it's like, but that's a really neat way to get yourself shot by the cops. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Well, and you knew they were coming. Who do you think's there? Right.
You guys called them.
Was that when they were waiting for, I think that's when they had the helicopters, they were circling for the perpetrator.
It was body cam footage of the cops walking to the house, and here's Ian like holding his weapon, and it's just like, dude, you called them here.
I like when they would be on camera and he's like, I'm just gonna put my badge. He would just lay his badge down, like, I'm just gonna lay this here.
Right. He was like,
just I have a question though. Here's my badge.
Shiny, isn't it?
There's one part he was like, I'm a U.S. Marshal, sorry. So you know how he wanted to say it, but he wanted to make it seem like he wasn't trying to say it. So he said the word sorry. No, dude, you were not sorry. That sentence was planted.
I'm surprised he
Yeah.
wasn't wearing a U.S. Marshals t-shirt when they walked in.
He was in his uniform.
Right? Like he was like, you guys know I was just working out. This is what I wear when I work out. It's my U.S. Marshals t-shirt.
So did Michelle actually, it didn't go to trial, did it? She was only in
she was
jail for
just waiting in
88.
jail.
She was in jail for 88 days and they released her. And Michelle and I 2 days ago got into a pretty heated debate.
Oh, I know that's shocking. We don't ever do debates. No.
And then, okay, I was right though. As usual. No, just kidding. So we were talking about,
what debate was this?
We were talking about polygraph tests and
yeah.
how they measure your heart rate, your how much you're sweating and all this stuff. And that if you're ever in trouble, ever, especially people like us that are innocent and naive, and we might confess to something we didn't do, you ask for a lawyer. You don't need to talk to the police. Don't say a word to them. As soon as they come asking questions, you ask for a lawyer, because every word you say, especially when you're someone that has anxiety and you're a people pleaser, you're going to dig yourself into a deeper hole.
Well, look at that Michelle lady. She confessed to 2 emails, spent 88 days in jail.
Yeah, but to be fair, the second you read Miranda rights, you say 0 things. All you say from that for that moment forward is, I would like to talk to a lawyer. The second Miranda rights are read to you, that's all you say. I have
even
nothing
before.
To say. Well, no, because nothing that it's only admissible afterwards. Like they have to read you your Miranda rights, explain all of your rights to you, and then at the end of it, they say, "Do you wish to talk to me, knowing those rights?"
Yeah,
that's when you
I
say
even before any of that happens, they're collecting evidence. They want to ask me questions. They want to interview me, not interrogate.
What happens before that, though, is not admissible in court.
But I will dig myself into a hole. I know I'll dig myself into a hole until it gets to the point that they're reading me the Miranda rights. I don't want to talk to them.
Look, Tiffany, if you get arrested, just call me. I will bail you out. Just keep your mouth shut.
No, I don't plan on being in jail.
I'm just saying.
Nobody plans to be in jail, Tiffany.
That's not a plan.
Well, I have a question. Back to when that weirdo guy came over to do whatever.
Rick? His name was Rick, right?
The fantasy guy?
Yeah, Rick.
So Angela's face, like she somewhat had marks on her, and her face got thrown into a wall because you could see makeup. And she did get bruised up. Now, here's the thing. Did Angela actually, because the guy said he left. He saw the name Ian and he wasn't even there. He's like, I showed up, I left. I'm not getting involved in this. So my question is, did Angela put her head through the wall by herself? Or did Ian put her head through the wall?
Yeah, good question.
I don't know. I didn't see any damage to a wall.
There was blood on the wall.
There was makeup on. I saw makeup.
Was it makeup? I saw red.
Face was fine. And like everything that was under her eyes, that was like runny mascara under her eyes. Like they took pictures of her neck, and I'm like, is the strangulation in the room with us? Because I didn't see.
Yeah, it just looked like her makeup. Like, I didn't see like any marks. I didn't see any blood. I think she just acted like he came behind her and he choked her or whatever.
She was very scared.
So first they had the Craigslist thing. The guy didn't show up. So then they had to pretend like she was attacked. And then that's when they arrested Michelle, because they're like, they had to keep escalating it. And see, he was a cop, so he knew that. They had to keep escalating it to get arrest. Yeah.
If he's in law enforcement, then he should have known what it would have taken day one, what it would have taken to get Michelle arrested. But it seems like everything they kept trying, cops kept telling them, sorry, there's nothing we can do. I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. Is Ian just really bad at his job?
I think he was trying to establish a pattern and a history, because people don't just come out the gate. So he was trying to make it seem like it was escalating in problems, but also he obviously just wanted to stick it to her because 1, she got away from him, and 2, he wanted to take the condo. So while she was in jail for those 88 days, he sold the condo, and she never got a dime out of her deposit or
she never got any of that down payment back.
I just have to make a point though too for your audience. While all this is going on with Angela, she's apparently pregnant with twins.
Right. This whole time.
which is not a thing, right? But I just want to like paint, like, so now you got a woman who's supposedly pregnant with twins, getting attacked. So now that has who's coming after a pregnant woman, right? Like you're vulnerable. Like why? Like now you're a bigger jerk. Like
though, some way
Yeah.
to get rid of those twins.
So let me ask y'all a question. Do you believe that she lied and fooled Ian into believing she had twins, or do you think he knew the whole time?
He knew. He knew the whole time.
I think she lied to him about that. And the reason I say that is because of the pattern before. Before she lied about a health condition and it was chemo. I think this time, see, you have two people that are equally charlatans, toxic. And I think maybe she pretended to be pregnant to entrap him. Little did she know he was trying to entrap her the whole time. I do have one question for you guys, though, that we haven't touched on yet. Okay, so just really quick, the show starts off with the one friend of Ian's who absolutely thinks, she says, I just want everyone to start telling the truth. And she was defending Ian the whole time. And she insisted that she was just friends with Ian, was never in love with him. What did you guys think of her?
Oh, I have a friend who does that. I have a friend who does that to this day still with a guy that she dated like for a minute, but then immediately once they're no longer dating, now they're best friends. And they have been best friends, I'd say, for over 2 decades now. And she holds a candle for this man, no matter what he does. And he's not exactly a winner.
Wow.
She does it. And I do believe she thinks that one day he's going to pick her. She was always there. She was always on his side. Mm-hmm. She believes one day he's going to pick her.
I think Ian is a narcissist. And so with the friend, I forgot what her name was, he betrays the nice guy. So she only sees the shiny, nice version of him. So that's why for her, it's hard to reconcile. He's not an animal. What are you talking about? He's the nicest, greatest guy I've ever known. I've known him for 20 years. He basically wears a mask. And a lot of narcissists do that. They want to keep people around to, it's called, what is it called? Facade management. They want people to think he's a great guy. Look at him. What do you mean? He's heartbroken over the twins and, yada, yada. And now Michelle is out there, harassing his new wife. And so I think this woman was his flying monkey, and she was the woman he kept around to make him look good. Because you can't have everyone saying you're an asshole. Can't have everyone saying you're a jerk. You have to have people saying, oh my God, he's such a victim. I can't believe this happened to him, because it makes him look good. And in order to hide who he really was behind closed doors to the outside world, he betrayed a different version. And I think she was in love with the fake version he was putting out. She didn't know there was him behind closed doors.
I bet Ian was ecstatic when he found out she was faking the pregnancy. He's like, because he could play the victim now. See, I wasn't the one. Look at her. Look at what she's the devious one.
Yeah.
Heather, what did you think?
Oh, yeah, that was great.
Heather, what did you think of the friend?
I think she does hold a torch for him. She can say, she admitted it. I love him. I'm not in love with him. You're not in love with him right this second. But if he gets out of the clink, he's coming to stay with her. So she will ride or die for that guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So I don't know. It's half a dozen of one, 6 of the other. Like, I think if he said, hey, you know what? It's always been you. I'm sorry. I love you. She'd walk down the aisle. That I will believe. But I don't think her opinion's ever going to change of him at all.
Yeah. Well, everyone, I want to thank all of you guys for being here today. Sandi and Heather, why don't you tell us what you guys have going on, what your channels are, at channels, plural. So tell us, ladies.
You want to go?
Well, Heather, you've got your OG.
Well, I got Heather from the Hood, even though it says DG right here. I don't know how to fix
Oh
it.
yeah.
So I'm Heather from the Hood, but Sandi and I have a new channel that we started together. That is our
That's our
what we
home
call our
base.
main home.
Yes. The other channels are vacation homes.
Yes. So we are royally screwed together.
Yes. We're royally screwed, and we just, a lot of it is talking about the chaos in the headlines, which right now is mostly ta-da, Harry and Meghan, big surprise. But we go live Monday through Thursday at 12 o'clock Pacific time. I'm terrible at time zones, you guys. I don't know why. 2 o'clock Central, and then everybody else is in charge of figuring out your own time zone. But and we also do Saturdays, so we have a fun show that we do on Saturdays as well, same time. And then anytime in between, if we're bored, sometimes we just get crazy and randomly do a live.
Mm-hmm.
But the Monday through Thursday, and then Saturdays is the primary schedule.
And we have some awesome guests line up coming in.
Oh, we do. Actually, Royal Daily Tea was our very first guest on our very first show.
Yeah, that is
right.
true. Oh, and we have a buzzer.
Fun.
We have a swear button.
We do. We have a swear buzzer. This is Cletus. And then we just got Judge Regina.
Regina's the capital of Saskatchewan, people. I'm Canadian. Get your head out of the gutter.
It was straight for the gutter. Okay, well, everyone, I want to thank you all so much for being here. And I will drop your channel links in the description of this video. So yeah, thank you everyone for being here. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for having us.